So last time I was here, Portugal won the European. So Germany, we are coming again, okay? So yeah, my name is Sandro Pereira. I'm the head of integration at DevScope. Well, you have my contacts there. Feel free to reach me out if you have any questions. I am a Lego fan and a Star Wars fan, and you may know a little soon why I'm telling you that. And I'm also training about integration. So if you guys need any training about BizTalk Server or Azure Integration Service, let me know. I can help you guys on doing that. And this is my manager these days. So he also a Lego fan. And for all you guys that normally say that you want to buy me a coffee or buy me a beer, so that QR code is to buy me a coffee. And all that I get is for buying a Lego for my son. So, and he is also controlling all my sessions because you know that all the slides will have some kind related with this. But the session is about migrating BizTalk to Azure. But all of you guys that know me for the BizTalk world, they normally tell me or ask me if BizTalk is dead. Okay, BizTalk is not dead. Okay, BizTalk is still alive. We have a long period of time to support. Okay, I was chatting with Kent, and he was telling me that I was run out of excuse to still speak about BizTalk. He's right. Okay, Microsoft is improving a lot, and all of these new capabilities is going to easy the companies these transactions from BizTalk to Azure, but it doesn't mean that BizTalk is dead at the moment, okay? BizTalk is still a valid product and it's still reliable for many organizations, okay? You may say that there is not going to be major updates. Microsoft is not investing in BizTalk. I don't need any investment from BizTalk. BizTalk has 25 years of experience. We have everything that that is needed. Maybe support alignments is only that we need to maintain at least the clients that are still running BizTalk. Logic App is not getting, consumption is not getting any major improvements and it's not there, okay? So it's the same of BizTalk. Microsoft is investing in Logic App standard and that's the way you should go. And if you really want to be focused more about enterprise integration, I think Logic App Standard is the way that you should go nowadays, okay? It is going to be a smooth transition from BizTalk to Azure. Well, it's not going to be easy, okay? It's going to be complex. It's going to be time-consuming. You have to innovate a lot, and sometimes it's going to be cost a little about this migration, but it's definitely possible, okay? We can easily migrate everything that we have nowadays in BizTalk and move to the cloud, okay? You need to think about that. We are going to pass from a platform that has more than 25 years in the market. It's a single product. It's a single platform. We have everything that we need to develop the integrations in that tool platform, okay? It's not a tool, it's more a platform because BizTalk is composed by many layers, okay? SQL, BizTalk, IaaS, and so on and so forth. So we have everything that we need in a box ready to do enterprise integration, reliable enterprise integration, okay? How many of you guys have a client that is still running BizTalk 2006 and that machine is there for how many years, no one touched it and it's still running fine, okay? So we have to migrate from this unique single platform to a variety of cloud service. That is kind of Azure Integration Service. That means that we need to use Logic App, consumption standard, we need to use Azure functions, we need to do service bus, key vaults, so many services that are not part of the Azure Integration Service, also we need to use that, okay? So it's kind of a Lego experience that we need to mount this and put it running as it was in BizTalk, but in a different way, okay? So there are some features that we don't have a direct match to the cloud. So we need to not one by one match. So we may have several features that can replace a single feature in BizTalk. Someone we have a direct match because, for example, an orchestration, it is a logic app workflow. So that's kind of easy, no? But it can be other stuff also. So we are passing from upfront investment to pay as you go, pay as use inside Azure Integration Service. We don't see too many updates in BizTalk, so it's quite stable. We can be running that process in an easy way. Just make sure that in Azure it's going to be completely different. We have to always move forward, okay? So every day we have updates, new features, and we have to move on and keep improving our solution, okay? So I have these slides just for you guys to have a look. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So there are many features of BizTalk, like message routing. You have the message box to do all of this stuff. We don't have a message box inside Azure, okay? For example, one of the things that we can use to do that routing is service bus, okay? But we can use a lot of things that just to replace that. Schemas, we use schemas for representing our message. Well, we have support of all of these inside the Azure integrations. Mapping, we have the data mapper, and Microsoft is working on a new version of the data mapper. Kent recently spoke about that in the Logic App channel about this. We don't have pipelines in Azure, but we can represent the pipeline in different ways and use the same concept in Azure. For example, we can use a function to run as a pipeline or a Logic App also to run as a pipeline, okay? We have adapters, we have connectors inside Azure, so all good, orchestrations, but we have business rules now. Microsoft announced that there's going to be, it's available for you to test new business rules, but you can create that business rules in different ways depending on what you are doing with that. BAM, tracking, ADI, accelerators, and all of this stuff, okay? So all of these are features from BizTalk that we need to reproduce if we want to migrate as is, when I mean as is, with the same requirements, the solutions that we have in BizTalk to the cloud, okay? So I choose to kind of 3-4 demos for you guys. So I'm not going to address a big project migration because that's going to be overkill, but I'm going to speak about some common features that we have in BizTalk and how we can reproduce that same capability in Azure. So for example, file routing. It's quite normal in BizTalk that at some point we have a solution that is just routing message or files. Can be a CSV file, an XML file that we grab from a file and we put in an FTP of a client and so on and so forth, okay? In BizTalk, what we need? Create a receive port, receive location, and then create a send port with a filter on that, okay? That's it. No line of code. We're doing message routing, okay? In some cases, if we want to do more advanced stuff, we create a property schema, and inside the pipeline, we can promote some properties to the context of the message and then routing on the send ports. So we are going to see that later on. For sake of time, for me not to switch back and forward, I'm going to present all the demos and then I'm going to show how to recreate that, okay? Another thing that you may have in several solutions inside BizTalk is to validate the XML file before you start processing that message. It's quite normal for us to do that kind of stuff, okay? So what we need in BizTalk, a schema, okay? And then a receive port, and then we use and create a custom pipeline that we can put the XML validated component that is out of the box with the product and say, validate the schema, that's it, okay? Simple as that. It's going to validate that message, and if it's valid, it's going forward, otherwise it's going to suspend that message. Okay. In some cases also, we want to say, for example, we are picking up a message, several messages from the receive port, and we want to process only specific files from that. So I want order A and order B. If it arrives at order C, I cannot process that. Again, in BizTalk, it's quite simple, okay? We just need, again, the schemas. We have the XML disassemble. On the XML disassemble, we can set up the schemas that we are going to process on that, and then more or less is the same. So it's going to check if that message are valid. If it's valid, it's going to continue the process. Otherwise, it's going to suspend the message saying that you cannot process that message. And then routing if you want. Another stuff is that sometimes, and when we specify these orders, we don't want to create the same process just because the message is different, okay? We have an order for a partner and another order for the partner. They are different formats, but the process is still the same inside our organization, okay? So what we normally do in BizTalk, we create these canonical schemas, and on the entering point, we convert the canonical the orders that from each client to the canonical format, and we only have one orchestration to process the orders internally in our organization. So again, in BizTalk, it's quite simple to accomplish that. We have the schemas, we have a receive port with receive locations or several receive locations, and inside the receive port, we can use different maps, and if it's a receive order A, it's going to convert that to canonical. If it's receive order, the order B is going to convert that to canonical, apply different mappings, and then go further with that process, okay? And well, let me go to the demos and show you how you can accomplish that. So the first scenario here is how we can receive a file, and we are going to use files with more than 1 megabyte. So just because normally a service bus standard is as a limit of 1 megabyte, but I don't want to use service bus premium because it's a little bit expensive, no? So to emulate these file folder moving, I use a storage account, okay? I'm just going to put the files in a storage account, and it's going to move to another storage account to emulate that files or an FTP, okay? But destination and the origin, it can be whatever you want, okay? So what I have here is I'm going to receive a message from the storage account. I'm going to create the content of that storage account. I did, just not to be a simple file transfer, I did a logic that I have these files here. Oh, I'm not sharing. Thank you guys for warning me about that. So I have these two files. They are CSV files. And you notice that they have different names. So the first part of the name is the client. The second part of the name is the type of the message. And then the last part is the name of the file that I have to put on the destination, okay? So I'm using a blob storage to get these files. I'm getting the content of the message, and then I'm going to split that message based on the minus character, and I'm going to grab the name of the client, the type, and then the destination name. And then, well, I'm just composing it just to test it. And I'm going to create another blob storage, intermediate blob storage. I'm going to put that file in the blob storage. And instead of putting that message inside the service bus, because the service bus has a limit or I need to go to premium, I'm going to send to the service bus a pointer for that message. on the storage account, for that file on the storage account. So what I'm going to send is actually saying that there is a file here with these on this path on the blob storage, and I'm going to promote these three properties to the context of the message on the service bus, so I can route it to different queues. And then I have each orchestration that I want to process, for example, the Sandro orders and the Luis orders. I have different processes listening to different queues to get that file and send it anywhere that you want, okay? So basically, I'm getting that file, and I'm getting that from the blob storage and put it in a different place, okay, if I want. So here, and for you guys to see this working, I'm going to upload the files here, okay? And basically run this orchestration, or this logic app, sorry. And they are running. So I'm going to get that files, and then they are going to be removed from the path. And you see that I create two different folders on my storage account, one as the Luis order and the other as the SAP order, okay? And the nice thing about this is that by using a storage account as an intermediate place to put my files, I can use the capabilities of the service bus for routing with big files, okay? So I can easily run a 20 megabytes file and use service bus standard for using that stuff, okay? I'm going to premium if I really need premium, okay? So sometimes it's about functionalities and cost control, okay? Sorry. Now, XML is the same story, but normally when we use XML to do routing, we normally go to the content of the message, promote some properties from the message, and then route them to different places based on the values that are inside that message. Yeah, the solution is going to be the same, but in this case, in BizTalk, we know that we can use a property promotion. It promotes to the context of the message, and it can route them. Well, we don't have property promotions in Logic App. So what you can do is use old-fashioned XPath queries, okay? Many of you don't know what that is, but you can use that, and you grab these. You can, for example, use integration account, and with a simple liquid mapping, you can promote the message and get the exact same values, okay? But I don't like to use integration account because it has extra costs. So what I use is an Azure function consumption running that liquid mapping, the same mapping, that behind the scenes I'm going to store in a storage account, but it's going to be way cheaper, okay? And I'm getting the same value. And I can use this message that I extract, I promote, I send it to service bus, and I do the same. So it's going to send it here. So in this case, I don't have nothing, okay? Again, I'm going to there upload different files. So I have here 3 XML different files and run it. If I force my run here, let me overview, sorry about that. Come on, okay. So it's running. Still running. And you see that I got this being moved and routed to different queues, in this case subscriptions, but I then create my process and pick that message and use whatever I want, okay? So last, for the mapping, well, I'm going to map different orders, order A and order B, do the canonical mapping, but I need to process only order A or order B. If I arrive at order C, I cannot move that. I have to go, okay? So the same is valid. So I create, there is no these capabilities inside Logic App at the moment to validate specific message, okay? So I create a function that actually do the same of BizTalk. It's going to check the namespace and the root node. If it's valid, if I recognize that, I process, otherwise it's going to be ignored. I send that, well, this is, sorry about this. This is the other one. I have to check where it is. It's identical to this one, but it's just extracting that headers, and if it's validated, it's going to apply a map. Here is a different stuff. This is for validating XML. And you say, Sandro, already exists a validating XML inside Logic App. Yes, but not if there is multiple schemas importations. So if a schema use multiple schemas inside, then you are not going to be able to use the out-of-the-box capabilities to validate the XML because it's not supported at the moment. With an Azure function, you can achieve that. So you see that many of these things we can extend a little bit using Azure functions and Logic App and get the same experience that we have in BizTalk. We can migrate everything that is there, okay? So I'm running out of time, unfortunately, but again, if you want, reach me out during the intervals. You can speak with me and I will show more details about this, okay? Sorry about this, and I hope you enjoy, and thank you.